I've never had Magic Online crash like that before in a game, like ever. I've never seen that before. Yeah, this is a good hand. It's mediocre, but Brainstorm turns it into a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. You sexy thing. Is this infect? Mm. Could be Delver. I want to Brainstorm. I want to get rid of both of these islands. I could Cabal Therapy my opponent. I also want to eat the land so my opponent doesn't get the mana. It's probably Delver. What land do we get? Let's see. We're playing Esper. We don't need green yet. Probably another Underground Sea. I don't think if it's Delver we should leave up Counterspell because we're going to run into Daze. And I also want to use the mana now. Maybe what I'll do is I'll cast Deathrite Shaman. And then I'll exile the Flooded Strand. And then cast. Because I don't want the Shaman to get dazed. So now I'll use this land so my opponent can't use the land. And what do we name? I guess like Brainstorm? Just like a really general magic card. I guess this could get dazed, but then they don't have mana. And then we get a clean Mentor next turn. Hopefully that is. Maybe I should name Force. Okay, they did have Daze. So it is a Delver deck. I guess I could have named Daze first, but this ends up just doing the same thing even better because now my opponent had to return a land to their hand. And they can't use the land from the Deathrite. But since I don't have information, let's not sacrifice a Deathrite Shaman yet. I mean, it's beautiful. The artwork of this card is quite nice. All right, because I want to try to deprive their mana a bit. Pyromancer. I'm assuming this is Gitaxian Probe. Mm-hmm. Sure thing. I'm glad we didn't leave up Counterspell this way. So, we get to Mentor now. I hope we get like a Ponder or something. The opponent could have Daze though. I guess we have Cabal Therapy. It's not the best draw. Hmm. I guess what we could do is play Mentor, Cabal Therapy sacrificing Deathrite Shaman, and name Lightning Bolt. Because it's Grixis Delver. I think that makes a ton of sense. I guess they could just force the damn thing. Maybe eating the land was aggressive because like I could have used my own counterspell. This list is really hard to play. In all honesty, I'm gonna mess this up all the time. I can play around Daze this way, but like it doesn't really play around Force in a meaningful way. Okay. Always yields. Always yields. And I'm gonna name Lightning Bolt, I guess. So they don't have removal. Although my opponent didn't play a land. They didn't play a land last turn. Oh no, they did. They dazed, that's right. Lightning Bolt. Oh, their hand is just lands and Delver of Secrets. Alright. I guess I leave it back to block? I don't know. Yeah, you're right about the days though. That hand was terrible, dude. That was like the worst hand I've ever seen. They drew Brainstorm. Wow. Well, so much for the worst hand ever. Actually, we should turn off auto yields because they're gonna try to. Is this Bolt now? Ponder. Okay. I'm gonna leave Deathrite Shaman back because I want to block the token. I guess I could block this way, so it's like not a huge deal. I also get to like counter Deathrite Shaman by not letting my opponent use Deathrite Shaman. Like if we find some cantrips, we'll be in a really favorable position. Do I just keep up counter spells? Probably, right? I could play Jace, but it runs into days. Just probably thinking a bit too aggro. I think we're the control deck here. Let's leave up counterspell. I think we leave up counterspell. And if the opponent tries to use their Deathrite Shaman to make mana, we don't eat in response because that means they want to fetch again to use a counterspell. Or excuse me, not a counter. I have counterspell in mind. As you can see, I have two. I'll counter Delver of Secrets. It's more Mentor triggers. If he has another young Pyromancer, we will probably lose. I don't think we can beat two young Ps. Second Delver? Sure. I was about to say, drawing a land would be ideal here. I guess they could daze this, which would be super awful. But I also get Mentor triggers, so like it's not the end of the world. Oh yeah, you have to play Jace now. Because like they know about Counterspell, like they could just play super defensive, and I think you want to bounce the Delver of Secrets. I guess he'll die to Bolt, but Mentor and this are in play. I could also bounce the Pyromancer. Because like if Delver flips, we're really screwed. I think you return the Delver of Secrets, because if it flips, it'll present a problem for us. So if my opponent wants to Bolt next turn, they have to choose between Jace the Mind Sculptor, and they have to choose between Mountain Mentor. And whichever one we get to keep is pretty good. Is this just another... The opponent seems to be able to draw cantrips a lot better than we can. Because I could have drawn like Taxing Probe, Ponder, Brainstorm, you know, the cantrips, but unfortunately we were not able to draw any. I did used to run 2 Preordain. I might go back to that. We'll have to see. Because they're literally just like getting the chance to, like they're cantripping into cantrips. It's way better for me to do that than them. But we also have Jace. Like next turn, if I get to Jace and actually use Jace the Mind Sculptor, I think we'll be in a very good position. But if we lose Mentor, I think we'll still be in a fine position because we'll get the Brainstorm and blah, blah, blah. But you know what's weird? They're running... oh, this is second Young P. Of course it is. Okay. That's such a good draw. I think Brainstorming is still correct. Holy Jesus. Oh, I really fucked that up. I meant to keep that on top. Whatever. Get it out of here. Definitely meant to keep the Cataxian Probe in my hand. But I have Daze and Counterspell, so it's probably fine. Yeah, well, now we can just pass. So basically, whatever my opponent plays, I'm countering this turn. Don't care what it is. And Delver's a good counter target anyway. So the nice thing about Mentor is even if we lose Mentor now, I think we win. My opponent might have double Daze. That's what I think they have. They could just be trying to get another trigger off their Pyromancer. But it just seemed to me like they were trying to get something out of me. Maybe it was just a bait. Like a skill check kind of thing. Why are they fetching? I guess we try to, like, kill him? We basically have lethal at this point. What's part of the cost? Oh, his hand is just Force of Will? Their hand is, like, awful. I can cast Deathrite Shaman off basic swamp, so this is fine. We finally get to go off, which is nice. Why did my opponent daze last turn? That was sick, dude. That was sick. Yeah, Zealous Persecution's gonna be... I'm running 2 because it's really good in this deck. Zealous Persecution is the cat's pajamas against... Man, Mentor is way better than Pyromancer. Yeah. I'm glad you agree, Futskins. It's just, like, so much better, dude. I'm gonna leave 2 Force on the draw. Two Fluster. In Legacy for sure. Oh yeah, in Modern, Mentor's not very good. I would agree with that, if that's what you're talking about. I should have dazed my own cantrip. I thought my opponent had something, but I guess I should have done it after I saw that it was Force of Will. I think you're right about that. This deck is, like, surprisingly hard to play. It's way better in this matchup. I think we board the dazes back on the play, but on the draw, we play it like this. Actually, maybe I'll take out Leo, because it's just like he costs green, and I could get wastelanded. But he's probably good in this matchup. I think Leo's got to be good, right? Against the all cantrip list. If you surgical one of their win cons, it makes it... If they surgical my Mentor, it'll make it hard for me to win, I think. Needs an Earth. Tech probably does need an Earth. Seems like a good hand. I think we actually can go down to one island. I don't think we need two. It's never come up like any of my games. I try to avoid boarding in surgical in fair matchups, unless it's like against punishing fire or like life from the loam. Otherwise, I just like, because like I feel like I lose more games than I win in the fair matchups with surgical in my deck, just because it's so random, you know. Like maybe it'll be in their graveyard, maybe it won't, sort of thing. If he has days, this hand is not good. I don't know. You can just play around the days is the thing. Like you can just Swords to Plowshares on like turn 3 or whatever. I guess in theory Counterspell's not great against days. So we know the opponent is on days. We could run a Counterspell into days, or I could Cabal Therapy, guaranteed take the days and get some information, maybe get 2 days. Yeah, Surgical can be... Like, against Snapcaster Mage, it can definitely be hilarious. Well, we know it's there, so I think we have to. Like, having some kind of information, but keeping up Counterspell to play into days seems like a shitty play to me. I'm just not a big fan. And I also get information. Okay, my opponent's hand is 3 copies of the card Lightning Bolt. No red mana. Their hand is really bad against my deck. That's interesting. Well, I wouldn't have named Lightning Bolt ever. This is such a weird hand, dude. Because, like, it has 4 red cards and no red mana, and they kept it. Should I just play Mentor here? Or should I Swords to Plowshares? Probably Swords to Plowshares. I'm going to get a Plains because I want to play Mentor. I could wait and do it next turn. But I think you just do it now. Off Plains. And we'll keep up Counterspell. The other reason why I don't like doing Mentor here is if they draw a red source and they bolt the Mentor, it's kind of rough. Whereas if they go for a cantrip, I can counter the cantrip so that they can't do that. Because their hand is dead. Like, they can't really play any of the cards right now. And, like, this to me looks like they actually may have found a land here. So I wouldn't mind countering the Pyromancer either. But I can see why you guys wanted to get aggressive. Because, like, if they're bricking, it also makes a lot of sense to, like, oh, your opponent stumbled. You know. Third Delver? I'll counter a third Delver. My opponent's on Mono Delver. Now I'll play Mentor. Maybe we should sandbag the black source. But they can't double waste. So this is fine. Yeah, now we get to therapy the 3 copies of Lightning Bolt. Oh, man. Mentor's good, dude. This is a good list. Like, Mentor feels really powerful when you get it right. It's really hard to play, though. I fucked up so many games this weekend. I, like, lost because of, like, a misplay or, like, oh, I didn't do this. Just a casual 1-mana 3-for-1. No big deal. Just cackled like an evil villain. Well, the mirror feels good. As you can see, it's pretty good against Delver. Oh, God. Dude, that was sick. Oh,